Identifying trend reversals is a key component to technical analysis. So let me take a moment and show you something that might help identify a potential trend reversal. So generally speaking, if we look at Dow Theory, the idea behind a downtrend would be a lower low and lower high. And so if we go in here and kind of draw those in, I'm not catching every single one, but it's lower lows and lower highs, right? Well, right in here, we still have a lower low, but it's starting to get a little more equal. But right when it breaks this spot right here, that's when it's no longer a lower high. In fact, it made a higher high. And so then it came back and made a higher low. And so it goes from lower low, lower high to higher high, and then higher low. That would complete the trend reversal. And this actually is often created, or often creates, a W pattern bottom with a breakout retest. We'll find that quite, they'll tend to coincide quite a bit. Let's look at another one. In fact, here's one that's very similar where it's dropping down. You can see the downtrend that was in play. But if we zoom in a little bit more, again, with looking at the lower highs, lower lows, this one came and made equal lows, right? And then right here, when it broke above this spot, now it's making a higher high. And then when it retests, that's the higher low. And so, but again, you can see that W pattern forming right in there as it makes the higher high, higher low breakout retest. Now, they don't always work picture perfect like that. You know, sometimes they form a little different pattern. And so, in fact, this one, if we look at this, it has the lower lows, lower highs coming down here, as we point out, lower lows, lower highs. But this time it makes a higher low followed by basically an equal high, because these are both right in here. But then it makes another equal low, right? And so now what we're looking for is it breaking this spot to show possible change in direction. And so now, once it makes that one, we know it has a higher high, so that one's complete. And now we're just looking for that higher low wherever that comes in. So here's our weakness in the downtrend, and then looking for it to bounce wherever that might be in the future, right? And then last one is if we look at this chart right here on Costco, it's a very similar situation, except for in this one, it had the downtrend in play, and then it had just a lot of choppiness around here. But again, you can kind of see the W pattern right in here, but it's very, right there, so right in there. And then, but it's very tight, right? It's very small. And so some might look for it even to break above this old high to give a true change in that trend. And once again, once it's past that, it's made the higher low down here, and it's gone here, this is the higher high. And now just waiting for that potential retest bounce and see where it goes from there. And so you can see they do come up in different ways, shapes, and forms, but hopefully that gives you a better idea of like how they may manifest themselves.